HelloFresh takes the guesswork and the extra hassle out of planning and preparing delicious meals for dinner. America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh gives you over 40 recipes to choose from each week. And then your farm-fresh, pre-portioned seasonal ingredients arrive at your doorstep with simple instructions to help you feel like the master chef of your kitchen. And did you know that HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout? HelloFresh has been an awesome addition to our household's dinner routine. We all get involved and cook together, following the pictured step-by-step instructions. It's a fun quality time and the meals are delicious. Give it a try and see for yourself. Go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, to get 50% off plus free shipping, go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Having It All, a podcast that explores the question, can we really have it all in life? My name is Matthew Bivens, and I believe that having it all means viewing life through a lens of abundance and love. You see, it's not about having anything, but instead about how we experience ourselves, other people, and life itself. In this podcast, my guests and I explore what having it all and creating your ideal life actually look like. We talk about the joy and contentment when you feel like you have it all, however it is that you define it. And we also talk about the profound and sometimes uncomfortable situations that you frequently must go through in order to create that ideal life. My goal with this podcast is that you walk away from each episode with new lessons that you can apply to your life, as well as real, raw stories of what having it all can look like. I want to spark the flame in your mind that asks, what does it look like to have it all in my life? So, with that, join me in having it all. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Having It All, a podcast that explores the question, can we really have it all in life? My name is Matthew Bivens, and I believe that having it all means viewing life through a lens of abundance and love. It's actually not about having anything, but instead about how we experience ourselves, other people, and life itself. In this podcast, my guests and I explore what having it all and creating your ideal life actually look like. We talk about the joy and contentment when you feel like you have it all, however it is that you choose to define it. And we also talk about the profound and uncomfortable situations that you frequently must go through to create that ideal life. My goal with this podcast is that you walk away from each episode with new lessons that you can apply to your life, as well as real, raw stories of what having it all can look like. I want to spark the flame in your mind that asks, what does it look like for me to have it all in my life? So, with that, join me as we jump into this very first episode of Having It All. On this first episode, I want to do a few things. First, I want to share with you where the idea for Having It All came from. Second, I want to talk about what you can expect from me, my guests, and this show in general. And third, I want to set the tone for the rest of this podcast by coming out of the gate with some honesty and vulnerability. But that's at the end, so just sit tight with me for a few minutes, and I promise we will get there. So, the inspiration for this podcast came from multiple sources. My previous boss, my previous podcast, my mentor, my community, and my wife, all of them collectively played a role in taking a simple seed of an idea and really over time poking it, evolving it, and strengthening it until Having It All was born. Having It All isn't my idea. It's the universe's idea that I'm simply channeling. And Having It All actually has a double meaning. So we're all probably familiar with the phrase having it all. It's something that is, quite frankly, pretty polarizing. If you just do a quick Google search, you'll see articles from all different sources that talk about it from every angle. I have my own way of looking at it. In fact, I've turned all, A.L.L, into an acronym that stands for Abundant Loving Life. HelloFresh takes the guesswork and the extra hassle out of planning and preparing delicious meals for dinner. America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh gives you over 40 recipes to choose from each week. And then your farm-fresh, pre-portioned seasonal ingredients arrive at your doorstep with simple instructions to help you feel like the master chef of your kitchen. And did you know that HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout? HelloFresh has been an awesome addition to our household's dinner routine. We all get involved and cook together, following the pictured step-by-step instructions. It's a fun quality time, and the meals are delicious. Give it a try and see for yourself. Go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall for 50% off plus free shipping. Again, to get 50% off plus free shipping, go to HelloFresh.com/50havingitall and use code 50havingitall.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Having it all to me means viewing life through a lens of abundance and love. It means viewing success not as what you have in terms of money, titles, accomplishments, or accolades, but viewing success as your experience of life itself. So having it all is actually not about having anything, and to me that's what makes it so beautiful. In the context of this show, having it all is about creating and living your ideal life. Now, here's what you can expect from the show. First, interviews with incredibly interesting people. They come from all walks of life. They're going to be names that you recognize and names that you will come to recognize. They are authors and speakers, parents, doctors, coaches and leaders, entrepreneurs and creators. They are people who have identified what it looks like in their life to have it all, and they are going for it. So in this show, we talk about what it means for them to actually have it all. We explore how their definition of it evolved over time. We talk about their journey of self-discovery and figuring out who they were and what they wanted in life, and we get really personal. My guests share stories of challenges that they've struggled with throughout their lives. There are stories of trauma and divorce, substance abuse, cheating, depression, and everything else that you can think of. The degrees to which my guests effectively and healthily related to those circumstances throughout their life varies. But what they all have in common is their willingness to go in. That means making themselves vulnerable, sharing, being transparent, and working on releasing self-judgment. And because of that, each conversation I have is powerful. As a listener, you will be left with a sense that having it all is actually possible. It's possible for you because the people I'm talking with are dealing with circumstances just like yours. So these episodes are going to run between about 30 to 45 minutes, but of course, sometimes we're just in it so deep that we don't want to stop. No pun intended. And that reminds me that, at times these conversations do get raw and we express ourselves. So they are probably not meant for young ears. Okay? So there might be some some cursing in there and some topics that could be a little bit sensitive. So keep that in mind. I'm going to be publishing episodes twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays. And I love feedback. So if you hear something and you have a question or a comment or you want to give me some feedback for me or for any of my guests, then you can leave me a note at www.havingitall.co/contact. Again, that's www.havingitall.co/contact. And I'll absolutely be sure to read your note and reply to it. Also, if you would like to be a guest on the show, you can fill out the form on my website, and my team and I will set up a time to see if we are the right fit to tell your unique story. Now, I promised at the top of this episode that I was going to be setting the tone for what is to come. And that's what I'm going to do now. To do that, I first need to set some context. So one of the things that I ask my guests to share with me is called an epic challenge. Now, an epic challenge is just what it sounds like. It's a situation or circumstance that you are going through in life that right now, at this particular point in time, feels so epic, so large, so daunting that you just struggle to figure out how to move through it powerfully. It might be something that you've been struggling with your entire life, or it might be something that has sprung up recently that is proving just incredibly difficult to navigate. And people have epic challenges in all different areas of life, in money, religion, sex, family, career, spouse, and I could keep going on and on. So, here is my current epic challenge. Now, remember, this has evolved, and as I've gone through I have one accountability group that I've been a part of, but as we've gone through this group, I've worked on different epic challenges. So this is the one that I'm working on right now. How do I learn to love myself completely so that I may love others completely and be fully able to receive the love that others wish to give me? That's what I'm working on at this moment. Now, this is a very relevant challenge to me because over the past year or so in my marriage, my wife and I have been undergoing our own self-discovery processes. We've been actively exploring who we are, both as individuals and as a couple. We've been exploring what it looks like for us to be the greatest version of ourselves and what it looks like for us to create the greatest partnership that we can. And in that process, we've worked on dropping fears and dropping judgments around what a typical marriage looks like, or even what a typical relationship looks like. We've worked on viewing our relationship through our own lens and not based on what society or our parents or our religious upbringing or any of that say that it should look like. We've addressed things like jealousy in our relationship. We've addressed the less than powerful relationship experiences from our past that we've been holding on to and that we've allowed to influence our current relationship together. And we've explored the concept of monogamy and what that means to us. So throughout that process, we've looked into and explored different love styles. And we've asked ourselves the question, what does it look like to be married with one person for the rest of your life, or to be intimate with one person for the rest of your life? And so my wife and I are choosing to create our own path that aligns with what is true to us and our mission and who we are. And what that looks like is us supporting each other, not only in our primary relationship in marriage, but also supporting each other to have relationships outside of each other. Many of those might look platonic and some might not be. But as long as there is a collective understanding, as long as there's trust, growth, and healing that comes from it, it's a worthwhile thing for us. We are interested in love and growth and community that is going to support us to thrive as a couple. So if that does look like getting our love tanks filled by people outside of our marriage, then so be it. We're all about it.
Discover new opportunities together in a new Chevy. Meet up in an Equinox, winner of the J.D. Power Award for initial quality among compact SUVs. Lend a hand in the strong and capable Silverado, or mix it up in a high-tech Trax with an available 11-inch diagonal touchscreen. Find family, friends, and fun in the Chevy that's right for you. Click to learn more. Chevrolet, together let's drive. For J.D. Power 2023 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Now, since you know my current epic challenge, I can imagine that you wouldn't be surprised that all sorts of fears and challenges and opportunities to relate powerfully have come up for me. And it's not been easy at all. My personal self-discovery process, the process that I'm going through to just figure out who I am, what I'm about, it really has opened up just new possibilities for me. And moving into those possibilities has had consequences that I did not foresee, especially on my ego. I have had to learn how to identify when my ego is speaking or when my ego is trying to influence me to do something or to not do something, and learn how to distinguish my ego from my heart. And mostly, I'm learning what it looks like and feels like to choose love over choosing fear. So it's that self-reflection process. It's the choosing love over fear. It's the courage to be vulnerable, and it's the big brass balls that it takes just to go against the grain. It's all of those things that this podcast is all about. So I invite you to join me each week as I talk with inspiring people doing amazing things. And I can promise you that it will not be boring. The first conversation I invite you to dive into is with Colleen Patrick Goudreau. Colleen is a best-selling author. She's a speaker. She's a fellow podcaster, and she's a thought leader on living vegan. She is absolutely having it all in life. And in our conversation, we get honest about what that looks like to her. So thank you so much for joining me on this first episode of the podcast. I look forward to many, many more with you. And with that, here's to you having it all. 2 quick things before you leave. First, did you know that the Having It All podcast is a part of the Fireside Network? Yep, that's right. We are one of the shows that calls Fireside Network home. That means if you ever want to listen to a show outside of iTunes or Stitcher or whatever your favorite podcasting app is, all you have to do is visit www.firesidernetwork.com/havingitall. From there, you can access all of the episodes, see the show notes, learn about my guests, and more. Second, we also have a standalone website for Having It All, where you can learn about me, discover how we further our mission at Having It All, and pick up some free content around creating your ideal life and just experiencing life more powerfully. You can find that at www.havingitall.co. Again, that's www.havingitall.co. Thanks again for listening to the show. Here's to you having it all.
Looking for a new career? Welcome to Do HVAC Training Service Center in North Charleston. Enroll today in our comprehensive HVAC training hands-on field experience-based program, covering troubleshooting, maintenance, installation, and more on various HVAC systems and ductwork. We offer EPA and NAEP preparation and testing, along with various certifications. Enjoy payment options. Achieve certification in under 5 months. Enroll now for your new journey of skill development and career advancement. Log on to dewhvactrainingsc.com to inquire.